guys, welcome back. Well, I know it's been long. Sorry for the delay. I've been a little bit busy. So, what we are going to learn today is how to make a simple calculator in Godot. Okay, now Godot actually is a game engine, so its main purpose is for creating games. But then, because it's actually really easy to use, you can use it for many things. I use it to create my apps all the time. I use it to create my apps all the time, and you can use it. It's also used for software development and app development. So without wasting much of your time, let's get right into it. Let me change this to game mode to run fast. Game mode. Let's go to apps. Now I've already downloaded the Godot, and I'm sure by this time you would have the Godot version 3.5. I still have the old versions just to sometimes I get issues with the recent ones, so I just go back to the old versions to help me out with some things. So let's just go to Godot 3.5. When you open your Godot, what you see is something like this. Okay, now you won't totally see something like this. These are old projects. Okay, so all your projects will show up here, and what you do is you click on the new project. Okay, and you make the name for your project, maybe tutorials calculus. Okay, so you create a folder, then you click on create and edit. Now the OpenGL S2 and the 3 just shows you your render quality, like your visual quality. I always choose 3, but if you know your machine is very slow, you can choose 2. Okay, but we won't be doing any sophisticated 3D rendering and stuff, so you can go ahead and just click on the OpenGL 3. It's not going to affect the speed or anything. Great. Now when it opens, you see something like that, and this is your workspace. Okay, now we are not going to do anything in 3D. Okay, we will be focusing on 2D because you are making an interface. So you see 2D scene, 3D scene. Now click on the user interface because that's what we are trying to do. Good. Now this is what will show up. So what we are going to do is, as I have already said, we are trying to make a user interface. So you would have to bring nodes. So when we say nodes are like tools, just like we saw in Photoshop, tools that helps us in our work. Okay, so you would have to choose a tool. Now the tool we want to choose is something that can help us make the background. Okay, so when you want that, it's called color rect. So you can just type in the color rect, and there is, just click on that, and you can expand it by clicking here. Okay, good. Now you can expand it to, I don't know, like this be okay. You can run your scene to see how it will display in the background. So as you can see, they are saying I haven't saved this scene, so I just go ahead and save it. Calculus scene, then click on save. After you save it, it runs and shows you how it will display when you're actually running it on a PC or a phone. Right now, what we are doing is we are trying to make a software for a PC. Okay, a simple calculator for a PC that calculate force, pressure, and what was the last one? I don't know, like let's make velocity or something. So as you can see, we have here displaying, but there is not displaying. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to expand it to cover here and expand it to also cover here. Okay, so you can stop it from running by clicking on F8. Sorry, not 4. Yep. So let's expand it a little bit there and there. I think this is okay. Okay, good. Now you can change the color of the colorette by clicking on the colorette node and going to where they have color. Okay, now when you click on the color, it gives you a lot of options to choose from. Good. So I don't know, like let's take yellow or blue. I really love blue. Okay, yellow. Okay, this is okay. This is okay. Now we want to label this. We want to give it like a heading or something. So you can just click on plus here and just type label. Good. Now when you have your label, okay, what Godot does is it doesn't have the fonts already. You would need to download the fonts online and then implement it in the Godot editor. So what I do is I already have a set of fonts, downloaded fonts on my PC. I'll give it out to you guys so you can use it. Desktop, sorry, files, then fonts. There it is, fonts, and what fonts should I use? Let's just go to Curie fonts. I have no idea how it looks like. Whatever it counts, we are using it that way. Okay, so let's just click on label. Then once you have the label node selected, you can scroll down. No, let's type this. At where you have the text area, you can type in calculus. Let's add fun calculus. Yeah, as you can see, nothing shows up. It actually shows up, but then very small, as you can see. So let's just go to the theme override. Okay, theme override. Now when you click on theme override, you see colors, constant, and fonts. Click on font. Now at the empty, click on new dynamic font, then click on the small t you have over there and click on font again, then drag the font here, there. Yeah, now you would have it a little bit visible. So what we do next is we can increase the size by going to settings and click on up. Yep, I can also change the outline of the font and I can increase it, so I have something like that. Well, this is okay. I like this way. Let me just increase the size. Okay, this is cool. Okay, good. Now we would want like two options. Like three options, like for pressure and force and velocity. So we want three buttons here, and each button will give us like three different the preambles needed. So let's take force. Force is equal to mass times acceleration, and pressure is equal to what? Force over area, and we have velocity being equal to distance over time. So we can have these two variables, so we have to give the user spaces to input these values. Okay, so what you do is, let's create a new control. A control is like a package or like a bag that you put in different nodes. I hope you guys get me. At least that's how I understand control. It's just like spatial, but spatial is used in 3D scenes. So control. Now we can label this first control as force. Okay, now click, after you've labeled force, you can click on that here, or you can just click on Q. W gives you this, and E gives you the rotation. I'll give you the S gives you the scale. So the shortcut is W for when you want to move it, and E for rotation, S for scale, and Q for select to. So just click on Q for the select to and expand it. I think you would want it somewhere there. Okay, good, this is nice. And let's just click on button. You know what, let's wait. Now let's make another color rect inside the force. Okay, now since we've used the color rect, you can see it at recent, so you just click on color rect recent. Okay, and you expand that. I think this is okay. Right, good. Now what we can do is we can duplicate that. Control plus D to duplicate, and Control plus D to duplicate. Now let's change this to velocity, and the third one to pressure. Now we have 3 pockets with what we want, so we can just select one. Select the pressure then click on W to move it from there to here. Okay, now click on velocity and move it from there to there. Okay, great. Now let's run this and see how it goes. Good. As you can see, the last one is not really visible, so we can just move everything to the left a little bit so that we can see everything. So let's just close the right, click on Alt F4. I'm sure you guys, yours won't display in full screen, and you can do that in editor. Okay, so editor, you have window, then you have force full screen. Just click on the force full screen and then you are good to go. Let's click on close. Now you can select all of this and then push it here a little bit. So I'll select the last one and push the last one there a little bit. Okay, I know we will get into the coding very soon, and that will be in part 2. We are just trying to make the interface in part 1. Okay, so after we are done with this, let's make a label for each, so we would know this is force and this is, like this is force, this is pressure, and this velocity. So I'm just going to click on that, recent again, label, and we drag the label to, which one is false? This one is false. Okay, there, and then type in false. Okay, now once we have the false, we go to theme override again, font, then on the font dynamic TT, we are just going back to what we've done already, and click on font data, you drag and you drop. Good. Now because the background is already white, we can't afford to make it white, so let's just turn it to black and increase the font size. So sorry, that was the outline, so you can make the outline still white. Black. You know what, we can actually make so, and yeah, could be visible. Okay, you know what, I like this, I'm digging this, I like this, so I can just do that, and what I do next is just duplicate that, and then hitting Ctrl, I select one label, or you know what, just drag the 2 to the velocity and drag the 3 to the pressure. I'm a very lazy guy, so once you're done, just drag this there. This works in the same way as layers. If you have something beneath something, that thing is going to show up first. Let's say pressure is over velocity. Okay, so pressure will show up before velocity. So if I drag, you see this label is at velocity. Okay, so if I drag this to where I have a pressure preamble, you see this is a pressure, this is under pressure. Okay, the whole of this is color rect, and this the property is a child of the pressure. So if I drag this label and I'm trying to drag it on top, it won't, because pressure is over velocity. It just works as layers as we saw in Photoshop, so this shouldn't be hard for you to grasp. So you can just change this to velocity. Yep. And we take the last one, which is label 3, and drag it there. Change this to pressure, top pressure. Good. Now we know pressure we need a force over area, right? So we still have to make how do I put this, another label. Let's make another label, but we can't duplicate, can we? No, let's not duplicate that. Now let's just duplicate it. Yes, sorry, I'm very lazy, so let's duplicate that, just drag it there. Okay, and take the second one and drag it there. Okay, good. Now you have 3 labels. Change the first label to false, F, just F is okay, and force over area, right? So this will be A. Good. Now let's go to velocity and duplicate it 2 times, drag it down as usual, drag this down to, and again we have 2 preambles. Now change that to velocity is distance, so we have D, and I drag it in the middle, and over time, right? Now force, let's duplicate the label in force 2. Now we have 2 labels, drag the first one there and the second one there, click on the label here and change forces mass times acceleration. So we have M, and we have a mass tangent, so A. Okay, good. Now, as I said, we would need a space for our user to input his data. Okay, so you can click on the force control or the force pocket, the force, and then click on the plus again. Now, what we are going to use is something called line text. Okay, so sorry, line edit, and this is where we'll be inputting our files. Okay, so you just click on that and then just change this to mass M. Okay, so this is where our user will be inputting his data. Okay, you can further change the font of the data if inputted, but then it's not really necessary. Okay, I don't really care, so you can duplicate that and bring it down here and just change this to A because it is the acceleration, and then we need one for the answer too. Okay, so we can just, you know what, don't duplicate that, just make a new one, line edit, and click use it as answer. Okay, good. Now this is the answer. We drag it, drag the answer. Always make sure you are using the move mode or the move tool. Okay, so the answers will display over here. Okay, but we don't want it to be the same color as that and that, and after all, it's going to just be a read only. Okay, it shouldn't be editable, so we just turn the editable off, and we go to theme. Is it theme? Forgotten theme. Sorry, I'm coming. Okay, so what you do is you go to the theme override, and at the theme override we have styles. Okay, so click on the styles, and where you see the read only, click on the read only because your thing is going to just be a read only, and change the property to a new style box. Okay, now you have this color. You can further change the color there to any color you want because it's going to be read only, as I said. I think, I don't know what color I should use, but then let's make this green. Green is okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of that, okay, and copy. Told you I'm very lazy, and go here and just paste it. Okay, good. So you see it tried to arrange it well. So all I'm going to do is change this from M to D, and from that to T. Then click on the D, hold shift and click on answer, select that, copy, click on the pressure and paste, and move it to a position as well. Good. Yep. And then change that from D to F, and from T to A, and then we are done. Now one last thing, we have to have a button that calculates. When you click on it, the calculation actually occurs, and we have to have another button that clears what we have. So if you want to do that, you just click on the main node, which is the first control node. You can change the name to main. Okay, and just click on that and type in button. They will give you that. Okay, good. where is this button? So as you can see, it's very tiny. Okay, so we can expand that by holding that and then just expanding it. Good. I hope you guys understand. Yeah, so just click on that and then rename this from button to calculate. Okay, now change the text here to calculate, and as I said, it actually shows, but then it's using its default font style, which is shit. So you can just go to the theme override again, font empty, new dynamic, TT font, and drag our font inside. Change the font size. Okay, great. Sometimes you don't want this to show the that background train button, so you can just click here flat and you will just have the name calculation button. I like it this way. Okay, so good. So you can just further duplicate that and drag it over here and name this clear. Okay, good. Now let's click on run. So actually we couldn't see our buttons because it didn't show on our interface. There is actually a way to fix this, but then I'll teach you guys later in the video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just bring the clear here and I calculate here. Okay, so close this and clear here and calculate there. Told you I was lazy. I know, doesn't seem nice, but then whatever. Gets the job done. So, but you can design it to your choice. Don't follow what I'm doing. Don't do exactly what I'm doing. You can try new ways to make the interface. So yeah, you just finished building the interface. So because you haven't programmed it or anything, clicking on that does nothing, and you can't type in here, but you can type here because you see you can type here and there and there and there, but when you click on calculate, nothing happens. Clear, nothing happens because there are no program. And you can't type here because, as we said, it's read only. Okay, it's read only. Hope you guys understand read only. Read only, you only read, just read it. It's a technical term, you can't search on it. So yeah, close it. So I hope to see you guys in the next video, and I'll be teaching you how to program all of this at once. So we will first look at creating programming the buttons to function. Okay, and then we look at programming each. So we will start with force. Yeah, we start with force, and then we follow on with the velocity and pressure, which will definitely be the same thing being repeated over and over and over. So by the time we are done, I hope you guys will get to what's going on, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.